From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. Every week, we populate our accounting and bookkeeping segments with timely updates on taxes, scams, tools, basic advice on how you can navigate one of those most crucial aspects of your business, your financials. For this, we seek out trusted experts who are happy to share their expertise.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
Today, I was going to talk about pooled employer plans, which are really great for small businesses. So pooled employer plans are like a 401k, but just as the name says, they are from pooled participants. And so this was set up as a result of the Secure Act in 2019. And then some other congressional changes subsequent to that. And what those changes really did was make it easier for diverse employers to pool their resources together. And that gives them an opportunity to lower their risk as they offer some retirement plans to their employees. So this is a great time of year to talk about this as people are, really focused on in the new year, how are we going to offer benefits to our employees to make sure that we are, a competitive employer. And as we look at survey after survey, more people are looking at what other benefits other than salary can you offer. And so the traditional 401k has much more risk, fiduciary risk, in offering it. It's also, so that makes it more time consuming, right? For people who maybe only have a few employees. Is that a risk you want to take on? The pooled employer plan is a much better option because it takes that risk and it moves that over to another entity. And so it gives a little bit of a safer option for those smaller employers.
I don't think they really had a choice, okay, which is they were a little late raising rates to 5%. The economy was very strong. It's still kind of strong. Consumers have money, house prices are up, stock prices are up, jobs are plentiful, wages are starting to go up, particularly the low end. Businesses are in good shape. So they're going to have to react to what actually happens. And so, some think they'll reduce rates a little bit, some think a little bit more. I think there's a chance they may not reduce them at all. So I'd be a little cautious in this one because the good news is the strong economy. The bad news is that does correlate to inflation. So, but you'd rather have a strong economy with low inflation than a really weak economy.
Everything you just said sounds rosier than maybe a couple years ago, but we still have everybody at home thinking this economy is shaky, I'm uncertain about it. Some people just flat say, I think it's bad. How do you square the two?
I think there's part of the reason of all this polarization. I think there is probably an accurate thing when people say there are two Americas. That one America, the bottom 20%, are making $15 an hour or less. They may not have medical. They live in parts of communities that may have a little bit more crime, and the schools aren't as good, and they might be a little angry. They're people say you're $400 away from a medical, an emergency. Well, that would make you uncomfortable. And I think there's things we should do to help that. Finally, wages are going up at the lower end. So I think that is a good thing, and so hopefully we can fix this. But a growing economy helps more people than anything. Tell
me a little bit more about that, the American dream specifically. People feel that they will never be able to come to your bank and ask for a home loan because they've given up even thinking about it. Does reality reflect the feeling in that case?
Well, I think so. You got to be careful about overstatements. I think 100 million people own homes. 40 million don't have mortgages. We're making mortgages every day to new people. So I think it goes to, again, there's a group of people who don't feel comfortable going to a bank. The government can do more. So it's one thing for us to do it, but the government has made mortgages so much more expensive than they need to be with, I think just overburdening rules and regulations on origination. Any one of your folks out there who got a mortgage recently, you're signing 40 documents, it raises the cost of a mortgage, it raises the cost, we don't have a securitization market. And the problem with that is that it raises the cost of a small mortgage by maybe 100 basis points. And therefore, if you're going to take out a $150,000 mortgage, that 100 basis points may be the difference about whether you can afford it or not. And that's terrible, because the best way to build wealth that most people started was their home. And those small mortgages would help minorities and lower income people more than anybody else. So one of the things we do is we try to do our own thing. We also try to fight for policies in Washington, D.C. that we think will be great for America.
I go back to building community. Human beings are by design communal creatures, period. Right? I mean, we can go back to Maslow's pyramid of needs. I mean, we're communal creatures by nature. For people of the African diaspora, it's even more so, because our, even what we define as family, it's extended family in it. It's sort of like the village, the whole concept of the village. And so I think the first piece I invite people is to look us up on the web, look at our website, look at DOF, choose to invest. I mean, our fees are minimal for a membership in DOF, but choose to get engaged in DOF and then become active. This year, we are very intentional about talking about the difference between equality and equity. I think in this country, we confuse equality with equity, and we confuse performance with barriers of entry. So we're really deeply focused on that at this stage of our journey. So this year at our convention, we actually have carved a space called DOF Raw. And any member of DOF could choose to be in DOF Raw for a hair fraction of what we would charge a regular funder, investor, sponsor. And you know what? It's going to be a beautiful space. It's going to be branded. We're offering, like a kiosk, so we know those small businesses don't have the money to go, sort of create like the big showstoppers that others do. So we've simplified it for a minimal cost. And, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be branded. And then we are also strategically driving business leaders who are looking for those firms in that space. But what we hear, right? What we hear is that even at a package of $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000, people feel like it's expensive. And I think there's a lot of what I would tell small business owners: if you're not gonna get anything if you're not investing. I'm a firm believer in agency. We gotta invest.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, beoshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at beoshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.